BalconyTV.
Welcome to Balcony TV Zurich. I'm here with GUS MacGregor and Jaël. Welcome, guys. What song are you going to play for us today?
Deep Enough.
Great. Have fun. Take it away.
Here's the real test. Can I keep my nerve? Can I be the man that I profess to be at first? With pretty words like anyone who's on a roll. And here we are, the two of us, fighting for our love. If it doesn't sometimes hurt, you say we're not going deep enough. Oh, my ego's bruised like any fool. I say I'm just out of sorts. I refuse to be the man, the also-ran, who doesn't give this everything. And here we are, the two of us, fighting for our love. If it doesn't sometimes hurt, you say we're not going deep enough. We are not the first to lose our path. Out among the dark and cold, the universe will turn, the stars will burn, in and out in spite of us. And here we are, the two of us, fighting for our love. If it doesn't sometimes hurt, you say we're not going deep enough. If it doesn't sometimes hurt, you say we're not going deep enough.
Wow, that was really nice. I think that just put everyone in a really nice and calm mood.
Good. Well, that's good. That's good.
Tell me a bit more about the song.
Yeah, I mean, when I introduce it on stage, I always say it's a song for, you know, if you've not had any ups and downs in your relationship, not had any kind of difficult times that you've had to work out and ego issues or whatever they are. If you've never had any of those things happen, then this is not the song for you. You won't understand it.
I don't think there's many people out there.
No, I think most people probably have. I suppose something I realized is that, you know, you can go through life from relationship to relationship, and just when you get to the point when it gets hard, you can just quit and start again. But at some point, you know, you have to say, you know, we can get through this, or you can't. Well, it's a mystery, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It really is. And what other songs can we expect from your album? It's called Dead Horse.
Yeah.
Maybe, first of all, do you want to explain the album title just a bit?
Yeah, well,
it's a bit sinister.
It might sound a bit sinister or macabre, but it's just that we have a saying in English, which is that you can't flog a dead horse. So it just means if something is, you know, if it's not working, it doesn't matter how much fuel you put in it, or it doesn't matter how much therapy you go to, or, you know, whatever it is. You know, the dead horse, it ain't going anywhere, I guess.
Is that something you realised from personal experience?
Well, who's not been, you know, who's not reached that
point?
Who's
not flogged that dead horse before?
I think people flog the dead. Yeah. You got to realise when you are flogging the dead horse. That's the point of the song. Yeah.
And how did you guys get together? Can someone explain that to you?
Well, Gus used to live in Bern for 7 years, I think, and music industry in Switzerland is still rather small. Well, we pretty much bumped into each other.
Everyone knows each other.
Well, pretty much, yes. And I heard his stuff and I loved it. And apparently he had also heard some of my songs and loved them too. So it was kind of logical, you know, the next step to do something together.
Yeah, and you lived in Bern for how many years?
I lived there for 7 years, and somebody had given me, when I first got there, like a neighbour, Carmen, she'd heard me practicing through the wall. She was like, "Oh, you're a singer-songwriter. You should listen to some, some Swiss singer-songwriters and stuff." She gave me some Mani Matter, but she gave me some Jaël CD. It was the Mina CD, the Mina album. Had this song sorted out, and it became like on my playlist constantly for about the first 2 years I was in Switzerland. And then I finally met Jaël. It was like, oh, nearly got a nosebleed. It's like, oh, it's my one of my favourite, touching songs. The thing was, I really liked Jaël's voice because it wasn't, there's so many voices around that are like, oh, emotion, oh, like this. And I just felt like Jaël's was just very real to me. It just felt like it was kind of spoke straight to my somewhere. So, yeah, when I found that she kind of had one of my songs or a couple of my songs had come to her attention, it was really nice to just sit and you wonder what's it going to be like when you meet someone that you kind of know their work but you don't know them. And I think within about 3 seconds we were just talking about normal stuff.
So the feeling was absolutely mutual for you as well.
absolutely. When I love his songs still, and so I'm always very, very pleased and happy when we can do some shows together. And so
for people who may not know you, you were part of the really famous Swiss band Lunik. You guys split up in 2013. A lot has happened for you since. You released your album Shuffle the Cards, which became #2 on the Swiss charts. Then you another album, Acoustic, you brought out as well. How's the journey been for you since?
Well, we've been touring as a trio, acoustic trio, and it's been really working nicely. People loved it, and we've actually just played the last show of that tour a few days ago, and that's just all perfect for me now because, next we will be on tour together, GUS and I, and I'm going back to, writing new songs for my next album.
Yeah. Is there a part of you that's kind of happy that it ended with the band because you now have the real chance to be independent?
You know what? At the time, obviously I didn't. At the time I was really sad about it, and but now it's like in many things in life, at the moment you feel like, oh my god, everything's falling apart, it's the end of the world, and then like maybe 2-3 years later all of a sudden you go like, oh, that's why it had to happen the way it did, because now actually I get all these great opportunities and I get to play with all these incredible people, musicians, and write with all those wonderful songwriters, and it's been really great so far. We've played also some shows in Brighton. Actually my acoustic trio and GUS, we did like a double show. I played in London in the Troubadour, which was amazing for me to play. We played New York, we played a couple of shows in Germany as well, so it's been really, life's been good for me too, so I'm really happy about how everything turned out finally.
Great. I think the journey was kind of similar for you in a way, having to start all over in Bern, having come from a musical theatre background. Can you tell me a bit more about how that came about?
Yeah, I've started over a few times in my life, and I think it's always a good thing. It clear out some ideas you might have about yourself, and you just get really back to what is the essence of yourself. Yeah, I was a West End star, darling, and I had I got nominated for an Olivier, and but when that came to an end, I went back to what is the thing that I love the most about music. I have a sort of a borderline obsession, I think, with just like voices and guitars and pianos and just these little intricacies of trying to express the condition of what it's like to live in this crazy world, man. But it is, sometimes and I suppose that's what the album Dead Horse is really about, is me, a guy late 40s. How can I still be a musician? It's not a real job, I have 2 children now, and I live in a sort of a suburban part of Brighton area. And but it has its own, we were chatting the other night, there's nobody that doesn't have a story. Everybody has a story, and I like trying to find those. Yeah. That's what my songwriting's about, hopefully with a little bit of amusing too. It's not all about being heavy and how can I cope with life. It's a lot of it is trying to see the funny side of things, and that's what drives me to do this.
Yeah, and through those changes you've got stories to tell in your lyrics, so it's a win-win.
Well, yeah, hopefully. It's not for everybody, but for those people who get it, they seem to enjoy it, so that's very gratifying.
Yeah. So you guys are now going to be kind of touring together in a duo. Where can people find out about dates and get in contact with you guys?
Well, my website. I mean, I just quit Facebook actually, so I don't have that anymore. But yeah, there's my website, which is myname.com, gusmacgregor.com. I may say, yeah, okay. So, and I just once in a while I write little posts on there and stuff. But all the tour dates are there, and there's a UK tour. There's some dates in Bern, Basel, Zurich. Yeah, London, Southampton, Brighton, Leeds, Oxford, Dada.
Wow.
So,
Okay, so
yeah.
people really don't have an excuse not to come see you guys.
Yeah,
You're very easily reachable.
Yeah.
And I have to say, your website is so entertaining, so definitely check that out. Thanks so much for being here, guys, and good luck with everything. It was really nice listening to you. See you next time on BalconyTV Zurich. Bye! Oh, tune.
BalconyTV.